Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Manchester City have defeated Burnley 1-0 away, and they got top of the Premier League. Ha 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 ha. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, it was a hate watch. I'm not gonna deny, of course, being an Arsenal fan. I really wanted Burnley to do something, to get anything out of this game, but it did not happen. Unfortunately, City, got the job done. It was a sort of performance that I really expected it to. I really did not think it was going to be an easy game. Everybody sort of expected, Manchester City to go ahead and thrash Burnley, and it thought it was going to be an easy night for Manchester City. And even though Manchester City, had majority of the possession, I think they had like 75% of the possession. I might be wrong, but they had the ball for majority of the game. They controlled the game for quite a lot. They dominated it as well, and they created good amount of chances as well. But it never really looked like that. Manchester City are gonna tear Burnley apart. It always felt like there was some sort of nervousness in that Manchester City team. You could just feel it, within the players, within the fans, even Guardiola, looked like there was some sort of a nervousness. People can say, I'm being an Arsenal fan, I'm trying to, be over optimistic and whatnot, but I just feel, that and everybody thinks that City are going to go on this an amazing run, winning 6 out of 6, and they're going to win the league and whatnot. I have said it. I said it after the Arsenal game. I still think, the league title is not done. I still think, there's a big chance that Arsenal might end up winning. And again, I really think, I personally feel that Arsenal are going to still win the title. And I will talk about it later on. But for me, I think Manchester City's today's performance is another reason that it gives me hope that because of the fixtures that Manchester City have, that there's chances that Manchester City are going to rub the points. As I said, they went to Burnley. They are lucky, I would say, again, that that they scored that goal. Leon Haaland scores that goal, and it becomes 1-0 to Manchester City. So, and it sort of really relieves them the pressure that they would have been. You cannot deny that they are not under a lot of pressure, because everybody expects Manchester City now to go ahead and win the league. So that's a different kind of pressure, right? So they go there and they score that early goal, and it becomes 1-0. But after that, if you look at Manchester City's performance, they moved the ball around very nicely. They created chances, but never really looked like they were going to score. They came close a couple of times, but Burnley were never under real threat. There was not a typical Manchester City chance that you can say that that's what it felt like. They are going to go ahead and they are going to thrash them. It was never like that. It just felt like City were missing something. And I've said this before as well. Even if you looked at the Arsenal game, City were not that good. It was quite an even game between City and Arsenal, and City took their chances in that game. You can go behind as well. The only good performance I would say that they have given, where you can see completely, I think that was the Liverpool game in the FA Cup. That's where it looked like City were really dangerous. But even after those games, if you look, people are going to say that they battled Chelsea 3-0, but everybody is betting Chelsea, left, right, and center, and that is the reason their manager got sacked as well. But if you look overall, and again, I'm not trying to be optimistic or anything, but I just feel, there is something in this City squad that is missing, and I don't know. I might be copying or whatnot, maybe just copy them and whatnot, but I still have a feeling, I think City are going to drop the points. I think they were really good today. They did what they had to do. Performance-wise, they were not good, but they were gritty enough. Burnley came close, very good. I think Mark Gahey had an excellent game. The way that he, controlled that defense, he was really good for me personally. I think he had a really good game. The way that he handled, the Burnley attack. I think Donnarumma had a good game as well. But you still see, I think there are cracks there in that City squad. And of course, for me personally, I've said this for a month now, since I think we drew against Burnley. I think Burnley, since we drew against Burnley, our game in hand for the Carabao Cup final, I've said this before, it's the only thing that is going to stop Arsenal from winning the league is Arsenal's mentality. If these players can, get get rid of that pressure and, somehow get, or, be normal in the games, I think Arsenal are going to win the league, because I just feel that City's squad is, that team is going to they're just gonna do something. I still feel it. I know people are gonna sit here and they're gonna say that I might be saying stupid things. I'm acting like an idiot. But I just feel it. Even today when I keep on saying this, people are gonna look at the stats and gonna say, oh, City were dominating. They really did not do anything. I mean, they had 75% of the possession, but even if you look at it, they've never really threatened Burnley. And if you're Manchester City and you're going to 19th place Burnley and you are going for the title, previous years, these games would have ended 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 like that, and City would demolish teams in their way. But they're not doing this thing, things like this time around. And I think that's what gives me confidence. And if you look at their fix, I mean, they have to go to Bournemouth away. That's a tough fix there. They have Brentford at home, both of them fighting to qualify for Europe. Villa away, so they don't have easy games, Manchester City. And I'm baffled that why people think that they are going to win every single one of those games. It is going to be hard. Arsenal might end up dropping the points themselves as well. So this notion that everybody has that the league is done, or I see some overly optimistic Arsenal fans who say Arsenal are going to win 5 and City are going to drop points. I would be very, very surprised if both of these teams end up winning all their games, but I just don't see it happening. I still think it is going to be a very a turning and twisting title race, and I think it is going to go into the final race. But I will be very honest, I really think for me personally, I think City are going to drop points in 2 games, and I think Arsenal are going to drop a point in 1 game. I think we are going to go to the final day still with the title hanging in the balance, and I think somehow Arsenal are going to have a bit of an advantage and they're going to win it on the last day. But this notion that everybody has that that City are going to win 6 out of 6 and Arsenal are going to win 5 out of 5 and you are going to have the title decided on goal difference, it's not going to happen. I still think I will still back Arsenal just after watching tonight's game. And again, I'm being an Arsenal fan, I'm being deluded, and what other people can say whatever they want to. But I still think that City are gonna drop points. I'm quite confident about it. Burnley, I really don't want to say anything, to be very honest with you. I think they really tried really hard. They gave it to their all, but there's a reason why they are 19th in the table, and you could just see they were miles apart from Manchester City. Forget about Manchester City. Look at threatening Burnley. Anyway, Burnley, they had so many open chances. I mean, Manchester City were throwing people forward, and Burnley there was so many chances. They were like 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, and they just gave the chance away, and they ruined the moment, and it went away for them. And again, that is why they are 19, and unfortunately that is why they are going to get relegated. Like it's not surprising that they are in this position. But for Manchester City, and I'll be very honest, if you are Pep Guardiola, you are going to be worried about today's performance, because it feels like there is still nervousness, because as much as City fans don't want to accept it, as much as City players don't want to show it, they know their run is more tough than Arsenal, and they know the teams they have to play are fighting for something. Now, if you look at Arsenal's fixture, I think for me the only tough fixture that Arsenal have is West Ham away. I think for me that is the toughest fixture, and I think we might end up dropping points there. But if you look at as compared to the City's fixture, I still think Arsenal have a better chance of winning the league. And everybody is like, even if the City end up winning 6 games and Arsenal end up winning 5 games, everybody's going gaga that City's gonna go ahead and they are gonna blast teams away. Everybody today was saying that City are gonna go 4-0, 5-0. It's 1-0. Do you people really think that they're going to thrash Bournemouth? Do people really think they're going to thrash Brentford? Do people really think they're going to thrash Villa? I really just don't see it happening. I just don't see, City going on that amazing run of form and, scoring 4 or 5 goals against each team. I just don't see it. I don't really understand why people are suddenly trying to do this. This is the same Manchester City who have struggled throughout the season, and they are going to struggle. I'm very, very, sure about it. For tonight, it's a massive win. Psychologically, it's a big boost. They're finally top of the table. It's a huge win for them. It's a disappointing night for Arsenal, but I still say Arsenal win the title. You can say whatever you want about me, but I still think Arsenal are going to win it. That's it from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game. And what of course, the main question is, who do you think is going to win it? Let me know in the comment section below. I like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye bye.